A new considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Good afternoon, everybody. Chandler and Ryan here for a change. We are coming live for a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Kalamazoo County. Hazardous 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts right now. As you can see, based on this image, this is velocity. So when you start to see these blue colors here for Kalamazoo County, that's when we start to see more of those significant severe higher wind gust levels here. This is going to be heading through the Kalamazoo area here. We're going to switch this back over to regular reflectivity, because if you're watching in the Kalamazoo area right now, you're probably thinking, you know, it's not raining that hard, it's not storming that hard or anything. And these winds are from what we call a wake low, and on the backside of this, there's just a very significant wind threat. Again, the reflectivity itself is not much to look at right now, but if we switch over to velocity, we are seeing some higher gusts right now. Ryan, I don't know if you have any inside information on what you heard.
I do.
About this.
I do, Chandler. We have a confirmed report of 58 miles per hour out of the Lawton area, which prompted them to issue this warning here for Kalamazoo. So as Chandler mentioned, behind this line of rain is going to be those really gusty winds. And what's crazy though, Chandler, is with today, the winds are not going to be out of the west. They're out of the east or southeast. And this is a weird situation called a wake low. So it's going to stop raining, and then the wind's going to pick up. So don't let your guard down. It may start to let up where you're at. That will be the start of those gusty winds. And on top of that, aside from the Kalamazoo County region, I do also want to mention and take a little bit of note further north there to Ottawa and now Kent County as well. We have nearly 10,000 people out of power with that region as well. So if you live in the Sparta to Grand Rapids region, you also should be on alert, as the exact same winds are moving through the county here. We have outages galore coming in from Grand Haven to Allendale down toward Port Sheldon. So be mindful of that. So far, we have minimal outages in Kalamazoo County. We do have one outage coming in near Paw Paw, though.
Thank you for that, Ryan. Like you say, in all of these winds, you can see the edge of this rain line right here. That's going to continue to work off to the east and to the northeast. And once the rain stops is when the winds really are going to start to pick up. So where the winds are strongest that they're warned for right now is again in the Kalamazoo County area, Alamo, Plainwell, Prairieville, Augusta, Galesburg. You guys are going to be up next for the strongest of the winds that are warned for right now. Down here at MSCHQ, it is still raining. The winds have not turned on here yet. And with the other office on the east side of the state, there are no winds that are cranking over there yet, but it will be interesting soon to see what happens here at the Michigan Storm Chasers office. Again, next up is going to be, areas of Augusta, following that M89 corridor off to the northeast of Kalamazoo, Plainwell, Prairieville. I think this goes for north of Battle Creek for the most part. Again, it still is going to get breezy there, but the strongest of the winds are going to be just to the north. Again, this is a 70-mile-an-hour wind gust right now, and if you're just tuning in, you may be thinking, well, it's not really storming outside. And if you look at the reflectivity image here on the left, where the mouse is circling, you would be correct. It is what we call a wake low, where once the rain stops, these winds coming out of the east are actually going to really start to crank up. So I got a report of power
Hey,
outage in our comments there in Ashtimo.
yeah, Chandler, I also want to mention a major outage now coming in near Comstock on the east side of Kalamazoo. This outage is over 1,000 people.
If you have the map up for that, Ryan, I can throw that on here if you want, or I can slap it on mine too.
Stand by, I can get it pulled up here. It is
So-
now sharing if you would like to take it.
Okay. A question for some of these other areas over here, we are still going to see some heavier winds in this area where there is no precipitation right now. The outage map here in just a second, you're going to see some of those outages where these brighter winds up here are, but in this area of Berry and Cass and Buren, Allegan counties, you're still going to be on tap for these winds. They just may not be severe criteria at this time. As you can see on the consumer's energy map here, there is some significant power outages coming in. Ryan said the one was in the Comstock area. Over 1,000 customers reported. We're starting to see some other ones come in at this time
Yes.
too on the
Over on the
southwest side of Kalamazoo.
The Winchell neighborhood as well as Parkview neighborhoods appear to be out. And also these blue dots on my screen here, sporadic outages now coming in all the way to Texas Township. And zooming out here back toward the Lawrence and Paw Paw areas, there's one back there. And going north, obviously, we did mention this earlier, but several outages from Coopersville to Grand Haven down toward Port Sheldon. So far from Consumers Energy, about 5,000 people out of power. In the state, though, a combined total of over 11,000 people. Now over 12,000 people out of power. Most of those Cass, Berrien, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and Ottawa counties. This wake low is going to continue to move across the state, so we will continue to see these winds progress eastward as well as outages as well. So keep that in mind. If you're watching further east from like Lansing or even Detroit or Flint areas, it'll take some time before it gets to you, but it is heading your direction. And these pockets of higher wind gusts are going to be isolated to scattered in nature. So not everybody's going to see these high winds, but where they do impact, they will be significant.
All right, thank you for that, Ryan. Here, looking at the Indiana radar right now, too, you can see on the backside of this where these significant wind gusts are starting to come in. So they should be heading through the Cass County area right now. If you're joining us from the Michiana area, down here in Indiana, you're probably seeing those high winds as well. Berry and Van Buren, Allegan, Cass County, the northwestern half of Kalamazoo County, you should be seeing those as well. And the very, very northwest corner of St. Joe County, you should be starting to see those winds here. As of right now, again, for Kalamazoo County is the only severe warned storm that we have at this time for these gusts. Again, there was a report which prompted the warning for a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. It is going to be windy out there for everybody. Just because it's not warned does not mean it won't be windy. If you saw our window meter today, then you know that trash cans could be flying around like crazy. All the way to Lake Huron, as the window meter had said. But again, it is going to be windy over the next couple of hours. Ryan, do you know how long this is supposed to last for those asking out there?
Yeah, so for those on the west side of the state, expect things to wrap up around the 10 to midnight time frame. On the east side, though, some models suggest a secondary kind of ramp up of winds, especially across our southeast counties. That may occur between 1 to 4 in the morning. So those of you on the east side, while you're not experiencing those winds yet, when they do happen, they'll probably last until the middle of the night for you guys. So that'll be something to watch on the east side of the state. Central Michigan, probably same time around midnight or so. I'd expect those winds to kind of ramp down a little bit.
Again, no new warnings at this time right now, just for Kalamazoo County. We will continue watching, and we might stay live a little bit later too, just in case some of those other ones do end up popping up a little bit. Ryan, I do got to text a few people here in the Southwest Michigan area, give them a heads up of what's coming.
Yep, go ahead. I'll take over here for a second if you want to take my my screen share if you'd like.
I got you here.
I'll get it pulled up here in just a second. I got it. Stay there. You go. Perfect. All right. So if you're just tuning in, we're tracking a severe warning here and talking and highlighting about this wind since the morning hours. So if you are just tuning in, we are tracking not really much in terms of on the radar here. There is a garden variety line of showers from Jackson, Michigan back to Kalamazoo. It extends all the way north up here into the northern part, like Big Rapids, Mount Pleasant region. What's interesting though is behind this rain is going to be really gusty winds. As you can see on the overall velocity map here, these are very intense winds showing up in Parchment to Richland to Augusta. In fact, we take our analysis tool here. These winds at roughly 3,000 feet off the ground are touching 90 miles per hour. So these are likely going to start mixing down to the surface. We're probably going to get those 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts here. I'm keeping a very close eye on the outage map here. We're still seeing outages roll in across Kalamazoo. One big one by Comstock area on the east side toward Galesburg as well. So keep that in mind. But on the back side, it's going to stop raining and the winds are going to start cranking. Further north as well, by Sparta, Cedar Springs, Rockford, and Walker areas. This is also the back side of that rain. We're seeing those winds that are going away from the radar. These are easterly winds. They're not coming out of the west or southwest like they usually do. These are east and southeasterly winds. So it's kind of backwards today. And we're seeing those winds on radar up here in Sparta and the Casanova area, upwards of, once again, 80 to 85 miles per hour here on the M46 and B72 corridors by Kent City and Sparta areas. Now, luckily, these are probably not reaching the ground. We're not seeing those 85 mile per hour winds on the ground here, but we are probably seeing close to, we're going to say, between 60 and 70 mile per hour winds at times here as well. And outages would definitely support that as they continue to roll in here. In fact, more outages starting to roll in on the Allegan County side by Dorr and Wayland areas. We have outages rolling in all the way from Mitchell area, Burnips, Drinth, just west of US 31 here. In fact, we do have a couple weather cameras in that area. I have to pull up the right one here. I'd want to say we have one here, the Frontier Truck Parts cam. I'll go ahead and pull that up just so we can see, and it is shaking. Holy cow. I'm going to get this pulled in for you guys in just a second. I'm going to tilt my camera to the south here so we can see the flagpole. But you are getting winds, and the camera is just shaking here. Give me 1 second. I'll switch my scene so you guys can pull this in. And we'll pull it up here, and there we go. The camera here is shaking and the flag, notice it's facing south, so those winds are coming out of the east, blowing on the other side of that. And this is not even the worst of the winds yet. The worst of the winds are still just off to the west of this camera here. So this is likely going to be more intense as we progress towards the 5 o'clock hour. I would probably estimate those winds are sustained at around 40 miles per hour right now, probably gusting close to 50 at that location. This is courtesy of Frontier Truck Parts there in Moline. This is off of US 131.
Ryan, we just had a bunch of bigger outages pop up in that northern Allegan, southern Ottawa County area. If you take a look at the map there, I'm trying to pop through the rest of these cameras on the back end for me over here just to see if there's anything else going on.
Yep. Yeah, well, as Chandler alluded to there, more outages coming in. We are now close to 15,000 people in the state out of power with this. We're just getting started too, which is crazy. On the west side of the state here, we have outages stretching now all the way up toward Newaygo and Howard City on the north side of that line as well. And this is likely going to continue. We have outages now by Saugatuck, outages coming in near Fenville. This is just kind of crazy at this point. Kalamazoo also continues to have several outages. The consumers map now over 10,000. The statewide map is clearly behind now. We're probably close to 15 to 20,000 people or customers out of power here in the state. I'm going to flip you guys back over here to the radar. Give me 1 second to do so. There we go. So as mentioned, we're not looking at the rain today. We're not looking where it's raining. We're looking behind the rain. This is a very rare circumstance here in the state of Michigan. So as you see, the brighter reds or the brighter greens indicate the strongest of the winds. And as you can see, the backside of that rain is where we're seeing those stronger winds. We're getting outages up here toward Howard City and Big Rapids. So this is likely 60 to 70 mile per hour winds that is likely mixing down to the ground, producing those outages here. So keep that in mind. Down further south, we have outages coming in near Dorr and Wayland and Hopkins area. The radar doesn't even look very bad here at all, but we're still getting those significant wind gusts. The winds are now probably cranky in downtown Kalamazoo. We're also probably seeing them pick up in Battle Creek here shortly, as well as Athens, Centerville, and Sturgis area. We're getting so many outages, Chandler. I'm getting like updates galore, and they're just going up, continually racking higher and higher and higher. This is not a good situation at all.
No, this isn't, and this is going to, like Ryan said, it's just going to be kind of the theme of the night, where the winds are going to continue to crank up out of the east, and they're not really going to stop too terrible much until, like Ryan said, that 10, 11, 12 o'clock time frame for the west side of the state here tonight, and we're looking at a little bit later on the other side. I can take mine back here, Ryan.
Yep.
For you. Again, for the severe thunderstorm warning, again, this is for 70-mile-an-hour winds. Locations include Kalamazoo, Galesburg, Schoolcraft, Comstock Northwest, Alamo, Ashmo, Portage, Mattawan, Climax, Westwood. If you're out of, if the winds are starting for you here in Kalamazoo County and the east half of Van Buren County, the winds are just starting here in our MSC HQ down here in St. Joe County.
Chandler, also just a quick PSA. If you lose power and if we go offline, give us like 3 to 5 minutes. We'll be back online here. I'll take over. Just want to throw that out there. If we do lose power at the office where Chandler's hosting the stream at, give us a second. We'll be back.
We'll be back on our east side office. Compliments of Ryan. Looking at the outage map, everything continues to increase around the Kalamazoo area from kind of west to east. Again, where we're looking here, I have this on the Grand Rapids radar right now with the analysis tool on. So at 2,400 feet off the ground, there's, like Ryan said, almost 90-mile-an-hour winds. Thankfully, that's not going to be reaching the ground at all, but it is going to continue to get windy out there. And this is moving, this line of rain is moving in a general west to east direction, as it does most of our weather here. But it is going to, the winds, like Ryan said, are going to go opposite of the rain. So once the rain clears out, the winds are going to turn on. I believe even our Three Rivers camera was shaking a little bit here. Oh, wow.
Is it?
Yeah, let me switch this here.
Oh yeah, check this out. If you want to pull that up and zoom on the trees, I just zoomed in.
That's what I did too.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I have to switch screens here. Unless you have it pulled up and can just switch it, I'll throw yours on there a minute.
Yeah, throw mine on there. I got you here in just a second. There you go. This is courtesy of our office cam where Chandler currently is at. And this is zoomed in on the tree line here. You can see the tops of those trees are starting to whip around there as this line of rain is progressing through. Again, this is in Three Rivers there in St. Joseph County. And I will say this, Chandler, this is not the worst of the winds either. The worst comes directly after the rain. So it's still raining here. But the worst is likely after that rain ends, and you can see it's already gusting pretty good. So if we give this time, you will likely see these trees begin to really whip around here as this wind increases.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you there. I'm actually gonna just very quickly put my camera feed on here. This is facing a different direction than the camera that I think you had, if it's gonna let me here.
I just pulled it up on my end, Chandler. I can switch it.
Okay. Yeah, that's
it's
what I was
shaking.
gonna put up there too. It's really starting to bounce around out there. I can see the rain ripping across the field. And this is going to continue to be the story over the next few hours. More power outages coming in from the Kalamazoo County right now. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see anything for St. Joe County from the consumer side of things until it gets about halfway through the county. I'm going to switch mine back here, Ryan.
Go for it.
Back to weather-wise here. Again, so where these lighter colors are on our radar is where we're looking right now. You can see the line following here from all the way Berry County down through Kalamazoo County, St. Joe County, and into Cass County. Again, once it stops raining, that is when the winds are really going to turn up, and it's going to continue to work its way across the state from west to east. And like I said, it's kind of goofy because the winds will be coming out of the east-southeast. Either somebody's here or the door just blew open. If you want to take over, Ryan.
You are the only person there. I can take over. Go ahead. You got me. So while Chandler goes ahead and checks that out, like he was talking about though, this is going to move east across the state as we get later on in the evening hours. So again, if you're watching from Lansing, Jackson, Hillsdale, Tri-Cities, Flint, Detroit, your wind is still on its way. We're just going to watch it as it progresses. Now, again, we're looking at what's behind this rain shield, not the rain itself. The rain itself is going to be very pleasant, very nice, garden variety in nature. It's going to stop or just about stop, and all of a sudden you're going to get blasted by easterly winds. We're not talking about the westerly winds today. They're coming out of the east. And that will likely be gusts between 40 as high as 70 miles per hour as this rain shield and as this wake low, as we call it, progresses across the state. Outage map update. We are now at 23,000 customers out of power across the entire state. Of those outages, we continue to see several roll in around the Door area and also the north of Battle Creek metro area. Battle Creek, if you are in that area, or Climax, or Bellevue area, not Belleville, but Bellevue, down by Vicksburg and Schoolcraft. I think I already said Climax. You guys are up on deck for this wind. I would not be shocked to see them issue a downstream warning for the Battle Creek metro area. Looking at the hazard observation map here, I am looking for confirmed gusts. I do see that the airport in Kalamazoo did gust to 49 miles per hour, so not quite severe there, but still pretty high gusts there. Also, looks like Douglas gusted to 49. Looks like Holland gusted to 49 as well. Looks like Grand Rapids is currently gusting to 33. So these observations are not matching the power outages that are coming in from this, and that's likely also due to the easterly wind. So when you guys have power outages, typically storms produce damaging wind out of the west or southwest. The easterly or southeasterly winds today are hitting the trees and power lines at different angles. They haven't felt pressure or force on just yet. So that could also aid in additional power outages because the trees are blowing a complete different direction than what they're used to. That could also be the case. So keep that in mind.
I am flickering here, Ryan. So far we're A-okay, but we'll see what continues to happen here. The winds definitely are ripping outside. I don't know if you can get a view to the south at all or to the southeast from one of the cameras, but you'll be able to see the rain bands ripping across the field, and they are moving right now.
I do have my camera pulled up there if you want to take it any time. Oh wow, yeah, you're not kidding. You are not a kidding.
I can take your camera here.
There you go. This is facing to the southeast across the field here in Three Rivers. Looks like it's died down for a little bit here, but if you look out in the distance, you can definitely tell it's still cranking out there.
Oh boy, we lost you. I got you back. There we go.
Got a report coming out of the South Bend, Indiana, across the border. They just confirmed a 70-mile-per-hour gust there, just across the border there. So even down close to Sturgis areas, be mindful of that. This is down where the office is currently at. This wind does not discriminate today. It's likely going to be gusty pretty much all up and down the back end of this rain line.
Yeah, it is. It is boogieing around out there, for lack of a better term. I can run mine back here. So again, the reason that we went live today was for this severe warning here for Kalamazoo County. It does expire in 32 minutes, but again, just because the severe thunderstorm warning expires does not mean that it's going to stop being windy. You know, a lot of times we talk about the rain and storm and wind moving through all together. Well, today's a little bit of a different case where even though it quits raining, the wind will still be on there. As of this time, we don't have any other information that there will be any other severe thunderstorm warnings issued, but it is going to continue to be very windy and very gusty. If you're in the West Michigan area, again,
Chandler?
Yeah.
Severe coming for Kent County.
So you're coming for Kent County. All right. Funny enough, we were just about to talk about that here. You can see these higher winds up north of Grand Rapids in the Rockford, Sparta, Cedar Springs, Sand Lake area, moving up the line, right, into the Howard City, Lakeview. Should be through Big Rapids, but if you're following this line right here, this is where those bigger winds are going to start. So we'll wait for that to come through here.
Huge outage coming in near Climax, Scotts area, south of Kalamazoo and Battle Creek metro areas.
It does just kind of continue. If you want to show that, I can put that up there. We don't have to. This is a good time.
I do not have it.
Okay, that's fine. I will say this is a really good time. If you do see any tree damage out there today, make sure you give one of our trusted tree partners. We have a few of them across the state: Kuiper Tree Care, K Tree Specialists, American Arbor. You'll see their information pop up down here in the little bar underneath Ryan and I, little box underneath Ryan and I. If you have any tree issues, make sure to check them out, give them a call. They will be able to help you. They are standing by at the ready. But look at these winds continuing in Berry and Kalamazoo County, about to enter Calhoun County here. These are some very significant winds. There's just a weasel that ran by my window. ADD moment, squirrel. Of all things, I just wasn't really expecting to see a weasel pop by the window. But this does expire in 30 minutes. It is capable of producing widespread damage, it says. These winds are going to be gusty. We probably will be seeing some tree limbs down. I'm seeing a lot of comments coming through of entire trees that are down in certain locations, power flickering on and off, power's out. There are a lot of power outages right now. We can take a look in a little bit at the outage map. So far, there isn't a ton in northern Kent County. There's one up near Howard City, but that's really all I'm seeing up that way, with the addition of, or with the exception of Ottawa County. And then Kalamazoo County continues to really see some large power outages. All right, so that was the severe thunderstorm warning that Ryan was talking about. Hasn't even popped in on my weather-wise yet. It should here. There it is. This is for 60-mile-an-hour observed winds. And again, these are the key words here. Damaging winds behind an area of precipitation was affecting much of Kent County, particularly northwestern, including Sparta, Cedar Springs, Kent City. Damaging winds could persist for 30 minutes or more. Locations, you can see all that are included here. It is going to be windy for most of Kent County. Wouldn't surprise me to see some power outages start to sprinkle in on the outage map there for Kent County. And this is, you can see up in this area here, there are some of those higher winds exiting the county as well, but those are just what we can see on radar. A lot of the winds that are actually happening, we really can't see on radar right now. We're fortunate enough to get a glimpse because of the radar, but everywhere back here where you just see gray, it's still windy. We just can't see that.
Chandler, we have a considerable amount of damage photos rolling in from Kalamazoo County, Ottawa. We have a lot, and I mean a lot of tree damage across this area.
Well, we're here at Michigan Storm Chasers. We are hoping for the best tonight. Hopefully, nobody's home is severely damaged. We are hoping for the best, but again, we do have multiple tree partners who specialize with insurance and will be standing by ready to help you. There's one on screen now, American Arbor. They specialize in Southwest Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care specializes in the West Michigan area, and then McKay Tree Specialist is working out of the Southeast Michigan area. And these winds will continue to make it across the entire state. So typically we look for heavy rain and thunderstorms to bring the big wind, but today is not the case. You can see the lines here where the significant winds are, and then it kind of continues as a little loop through Kent County and then runs up further to the north. Looking at the outage map, there are more power outages coming from northern Kent County right now in between Sparta, 14, 13, 17-mile roads headed towards the Cedar Springs area. Starting to really get windier too in the Montcalm County area, Mecosta County, Isabella County will be up on tap here in a little bit. The winds will be coming from the east and southeast out of this system.
Update for your wind gust in the Kalamazoo airport. Observed 56 miles per hour. Severe coming for Barry, Eaton, and Calhoun counties for a baseline 60 mile per hour winds. So again, new severe incoming for Barry, Eaton, and Calhoun counties.
And that largely is following this bigger blast of winds that we're seeing here. Again, it's windy back here too. We can't see that with our radar. It's not designed to be able to see through the clear air like this. They're designed to be able to see through storms like we have here. I have to text a few other people a minute here, Ryan, if you want to.
Here, go ahead, take my screen. I got you.
Yeah, I got you here.
So what they're going to issue a warning here for is going to be Hastings over to Charlotte, as well as the Battle Creek Marshall areas, this whole entire 3-county region. Again, as this rain passes through, it's backwards. I know it's going to be weird. But as this rain passes through, they will issue, or they will ramp the winds up here, which is why you're getting the warnings after the rain's coming through or pretty much done. So again, new warning at any time coming in here for these 3 counties: Barry, Eden, as well as Calhoun. It's going to include probably all of these counties. So Albion, Homer, Marshall, Battle Creek, downtown, Charlotte, Potterville, Grand Ledge, up toward Hastings, Middleville, and Prairieville. Those 3 counties will see that warning pop in any time. You'll see it on the bottom ticker below. And it's going to be for 60 mile per hour winds. Also checking back in with the power outage map, we jumped from 21,000 to now 32,000 customers out of power here. Looks like Cass County is being hit extremely hard, as is Kalamazoo County. So if I wish I could pop it on my screen here, but I'm not, don't have the control of that. But pretty much all up and down the West Michigan shoreline, I'm seeing these gusts or these outages. I'm using the poweroutage.us website, Chandler, for reference. But from counties from Berrien to Cass all the way up to even Leelanau County, for example, has outages. There is not one county. I take that back. Oceana County does not have an outage being reported. Otherwise, all the counties surrounding it have outages rolling in here. And it looks like Kalamazoo, Ottawa, and Cass are the hardest hit so far.
starting to see them here in St. Joe County. Winds are starting to pick up here at the office right now. Thankfully, this time we do still have power on. But this is going to continue for the next couple hours or so here. Ryan, I'm going to throw your screen back on here just while I get mine switched back around.
There's your new warning. As mentioned, it's going to be for those 3 counties effective until 6:30. So an hour and a half long warning here for these 3 counties. It does include all of those counties as we previously talked about. So Hastings, Charlotte, Marshall, Battle Creek. And again, even though it's not raining on these warnings, it's still going to be severe level winds. They did indicate these are radar indicated, but they did source that trained weather spotters have reported these winds here in these areas. Now, also, I want to mention something that's important with these winds today. We talked about how they're coming out of the east. So it's going to affect trees and power lines in a different way than what our usual winds out of the west or southwest would. In addition to that, these winds, with a typical severe storm, the winds are in the front, and it's a big blast, and behind it kind of calms down a little bit. With these winds today, it's going to be prolonged. We could see severe level wind gusts that could occur for over 20 minutes or longer in some of these areas. So it's not just a quick burst of wind like a typical severe storm is. This is more intense, more long lasting, and some of these gusts may even top our severe criteria. I know across the lake in Wisconsin, we had several 70+ mile per hour gusts. I believe Milwaukee gusted highest at 77 miles per hour, which is very close to destructive severe criteria. Hopefully we don't have that today here in the state, but it is possible we may see that happen. Chandler, if you want to hop in the comment section and Messenger, feel free. I'm not sure if that's on your agenda or not, but I do know we have several people sending in damage reports to us.
Yeah, I can pop in there here in a few minutes. Put mine back on stream here for now. Starting to see, like you said, more and more power outages come in, starting to work their way through Berry County. Thankfully, I'm not seeing anything here for Eaton County yet, but I would imagine that it will be coming shortly. Again, we can see on the map here where the heaviest of winds are heading into the Battle Creek and Calhoun counties, Berry County here, and then into the Eaton County area. Again, this is what Ryan was talking about for the severe thunderstorm warning. We do have the one for Kent County at this time as well. So right now we do have just the 3 of them here, the 3 warnings as well. You can see those kind of outlined here in a different color. But 5 counties total under severe thunderstorm warning for this wind event.
Looks like our camera in Battle Creek just got knocked offline, as has Centerville, as has Three Rivers. So we have several cameras being knocked off right now by this wind. Latest outage update still continues to trend. We're doubling every 10 minutes. We're adding about 10,000 customers out of power. We're now at 43,000 customers in Michigan out of power.
That's quite something, Ryan.
Yeah, and this is we haven't been live we've been live 40 minutes. This started about 40 minutes ago, and it's been on track here. Roughly every 10 minutes, we add 10,000 customers without power. If that trend continues, we may see close to maybe 100 or 200,000 people out of power, which is equivalent to a very moderate to high-end severe weather day. So we are seeing this. It's not severe storms, but it's still severe wind. And I would argue it's even more significant than most of our severe events we've had this year so far. This is definitely a concerning situation. If you have any friends or family who live out ahead of this and they have no idea what's coming, today is one of those days that's very wacky. It's just rain. There's no storms going on. And the wind comes behind the rain. We've been saying this all stream long. It's very wacky. If you have friends or family who are out ahead of this, it may be a good idea to send them a text. Hey, After the rain's over, expect gusts of wind to be upwards of 40 to as high as 70 miles per hour. And we've been talking about this all day as well. Plan for outages as well. We've already seen several outages. We just got another update here. We're at 47,000 customers now. Another 5,000 customer jump in the past 5 minutes. So these are going to continue to rack up here as this line of showers continues to progress eastward. Quite an insane day is unfolding here in Michigan.
It's quite something, Ryan. Not something that I think we had on our list for today.
I don't think we had this on the list for the year, to be honest with you. Now we do get these wake lows occasionally in Michigan, but it's not very common. The last time we had a similar setup with this, if you think back to 2 winters ago, we were talking about snow squalls, and the wind behind those snow squalls ramped up significantly. It's a very similar situation, but we don't get these too often here in the state, especially in our warm weather months.
No, you would be correct with that. It's very interesting to see how this is continuing to play out for the day here. The strongest of the winds now headed into Calhoun County, if they're not already, moving out of St. Joe County and more into the Branch County area. Again, right now, the places that are warned are Eaton County, Berry County, Kent County, Kalamazoo County should be ending here soon, and Calhoun County as well. Yep, expires in 16 minutes. Again, that's all that we have that is actually warned at the present time right now, but that doesn't mean that it's not windy. Again, you can see on the left side of the screen here where my mouse is moving around, that's where the rain stops. And once the rain stops, that's really when the biggest and heaviest of the winds are going to start to turn on, like Ryan has been saying.
Chandler, I don't know if you're watching the outage map, but down by your area, Cass and St. Joseph, as well as I don't think Branch just yet, but we are getting significant outages in the Mendon, Centerville, and Three Rivers area. I am surprised that you have power there at the office, to be completely honest with you.
I'm looking at the multiple different power outages here, and there's not. Yeah, I don't know how, knock on wood, that we have power either, because there is a lot going on.
This is very reminiscent, the outage map at least. I'm reminded of several of our high-end wind events. I'm thinking back to May 15th and March 30th of last year. We had those squall lines come through the state. And also, if you think back to August 24th of 2023, we had another squall line come across the state, knock power out to 200, 300,000 people. This is what's reminding me of. There are several outages all up and down West Michigan right now. It's just continuous line of these colored dots popping on the outage map. It's very reminiscent of that. Hopefully this weekend as it moves across the state, but the model guidance we have suggests it will not. So again, if you're in the central and eastern half of the state, do not let your guard down. This wind is heading your direction, and it will impact you later on today and tonight. I'll be right back, Chandler.
Sounds good. Again, what we can see on radar here is we're looking at the heavier winds that are in Calhoun County at the present time. But like we've said a couple times here, everything back here, it's still windy out there. I'm getting a lot of reports. I have one of my contact apps here, the Facebook Messenger here, pulled up, and that's really starting to populate with quite a few messages of trees down and some pictures here. I'm gonna try and switch this. Okay, cool. I don't normally get to host behind the scenes, so if things go wonky, just blame me. It's my fault. So, but it worked out. We were okay. But again, we really aren't seeing any major precipitation with this, but that doesn't mean that it's not windy. Okay, I can't stress that enough to you guys. It still will be windy when the rain stops. That's arguably when the wind is going to pick up. the most. So for our severe warnings right now, there's a large special weather statement out here for Midland, Bay, Huron, Saginaw, Tuscola, Sanilac, Shiawassee, Genesee, Lapeer, St. Clair, Livingston, Oakland, Macomb, Washtenaw, Wayne, Lenawee, and Monroe counties for strong wind gusts this evening. Again, this is going to be the same winds that are coming through now. And as they continue to work their way across the state, we may see some additional severe thunderstorm warnings as it continues to move off to the east northeast. But right now, downstream of this, all they have are the special weather statements for 40-mile-an-hour gusts and less. Again, the precipitation is not heavy. It's just some rain out there, right? No large hail, but just because it's raining does not mean that once it stops raining, the winds are going to stop as well. Again, that's arguably going to be when the winds pick up the most. I've seen a few questions in here why there are severe thunderstorm warnings, and the reason there are severe thunderstorm warnings is they are either getting viewer reports or spotter reports of 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning is, I believe, 58 miles an hour. And so if we're seeing 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts from trained weather spotters, then even though there's not a thunderstorm ongoing, they'll still warn it so that people are safe, because 60-mile-an-hour winds are still 60-mile-an-hour winds. It doesn't need to have heavy rain, lightning, and thunder for them to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. If there is a, what someone calls a high wind warning, that's more of a advisory where they don't expect winds to be quite to the severe threshold yet. And that was discussed, as far as I know, through a couple of the weather forecast offices in and around the Michigan area. But with the winds as high as they are, it is important for people to be informed, for people to be taking shelter, and for people to be safe with the higher end of these wind gusts coming through. Again, the one for Kalamazoo County will be expiring in 10 minutes, and the one for Berry, Eaton, and Calhoun counties will be expiring in an hour. We go back up to Kent County, that one expires in 40 minutes. I apologize if it looks like I'm looking straight up into the sky at all of this. I put a additional monitor up on the top of my PC tower, so I feel like I'm looking up at the sky. But everybody will continue to see these higher winds throughout the rest of the evening here. If you have any dead trees, it's good to stay away from those on the property. Trying to read through a bunch of comments here. In northern Michigan, so everywhere that you guys see this blue area, this is all special weather statement. So the National Weather Service up here in northern Michigan and the National Weather Service in Detroit have opted to go with special weather statements for everybody, and that is to well, I can tell you exactly what it's for here. It expires in 3 hours. I'm not going to read through all of these counties, but while breezy southeast winds will be common throughout tonight, locally stronger wind gusts will be possible. Winds may gust as high as 45 to 55 miles an hour, with the likely time frame for these gusts being between 4 to 8 p.m. So that's why the entire duration of the state, for the most part, is under a special weather statement. If we look at the one issued from Detroit, the strongest winds are expected between 6 and 10 p.m. And that makes sense. So if we look at this from the map here, if I zoom all the way out, the further to the west you are, that is the sooner you will see these heavier winds start to subside. Probably somewhere between the 7 to 8 o'clock time frame. And as you go across the state from west to east, you'll see the wind gusts start to pick up probably around the 5:30 to 7:30 time frame, and then last for a few hours there as well. Again, these winds are heavy and they will be gusting strong. So if you're out and about, please be very careful. You don't want to be out certainly hanging out under the trees on a day like today, especially with the comments and messages that I am starting to see on our pages. Please take shelter if you are concerned. If you have a basement, that is the best place to go, or a storm shelter. If you don't have a basement, the most interior room of the home, whether it's a bathroom or a closet, bring something to cover your head if you feel concerned about what is going on outside. I can't
They're
imagine
monitoring.
Oh, you're back, Ryan. Hello.
They are monitoring potential downstream warnings for Ingham as well as Jackson counties.
All right. Let me know when you want me to throw your camera back on here.
You can definitely do that.
You get to go back on top now. So we were talking about what the special weather statements were for outside downstream for DTX and for northern Michigan. I'm going to be continuing here over the next couple hours for the west side of the state. But if you want to run for a little bit here, I'll put your computer screen on. I'm going to try and pop into the messenger for a little bit.
Yeah, give me like 2 seconds here. Also, I have some information behind the scenes, talking with Detroit Weather Service. At this current time, their initial plan is to opt for high wind warnings or statements over severe warnings. So when this line approaches the Detroit warning area, we may not see additional warnings that are severe be issued, but instead we may opt to go high wind warning for those areas. So just because there's no severe warnings if they get to the east side, this wind is still intense. Don't let it fool you.
Yeah, we talked about what the difference was between a high wind warning, Ryan, and a severe thunderstorm warning. There were a few people wondering what the differences were there. But yeah, if your screen is ready to roll here, I'll put you on.
Yep, go ahead, take me. Couple warnings remain in effect here. The winds will continue behind this line of showers. The warning in Kent County expires in 35 minutes. The one in Kalamazoo County expires at 5:30. We have warnings also in effect for Calhoun, for Battle Creek downtown, as well as Eaton, as well as Berry County. In fact, I do have the Vermontville cameras aimed and pointed at this potential area of wind. We're going to bring that in just a brief second here. I'm going to watch it very closely, and we'll take a look at it here as it moves. In fact, let's go and pull it up, because why not? Otherwise, we are monitoring, or should I say the Weather Service is monitoring potential for downstream warnings for Lansing, Ingham County, as well as Jackson County with this wake low. Up next will be Charlotte as well as Vermontville areas as this line progresses to the east. I'm going to pull up Charlotte as well, just so I have that one. There we go. Charlotte's actually already gusty. So they're basically right on the edge of that line. So they're about to get into the strongest of the wind gusts. So I'm going to flip my screen over to the weather camera here at the Charlotte Fire Department, courtesy of Guardian Technologies. This is facing to the west and a little bit north, so we'll call it northwest. But you're going to see the wind start to pick up here in this camera.
Ryan, I'm starting to get a couple of pictures here of some trees on home. So if you are watching, please take this wind seriously. Just because it is not a heavy thunderstorm out there does not mean that this wind isn't dangerous. Last thing we want is to hear any really bad reports. So please take this seriously.
Latest outage map we have looked at says 55,000 customers are without power now across the state. 55,000. So we went from 0 to 100 quite rapidly here. We've been live just over an hour. Actually, we're at 55 minutes. So about 1,000 people a minute is what we're at right now in terms of power outages. The Battle Creek Airport has gusted to severe limits at 58.7 miles per hour, likely rounding up to 59 there. We'll call it 59 for all intents and purposes. So again, 59 mile per hour wind gust in Battle Creek at the airport there, courtesy of the ASO station. Alert updated for the wind advisory for our bottom tier counties. I do not know. Okay, they extended the end time of that. The end time was 8 p.m. I believe on it, and it looks like they extended it further.
Yep, out till 10 o'clock now. What can I do for you, Ryan?
Nope, nothing. Reports of people trapped in homes in Kalamazoo County.
Well, that's not ideal.
Several, not just one. There are several homes or trees on homes with reportedly people inside. They're working to get those people out currently. Getting a update here. They went ahead and expired the severe warning for Kalamazoo counties. That will expire here in 1 minute. Just got that update out. New severe incoming for Ingham as well as Jackson County, as we've been talking about. They're going to go ahead and issue the warnings. Ingham and Jackson County here, warning incoming. I do not know if it's going to be considerable or baseline. I'm going to assume it'll be baseline. The Charlotte camera continues to be gusty. Chandler, can you pop on the chat doc, please, so I can keep an eye on chat?
You're asking
top
me an
left.
awful
top left. Top left docs. Drop that down and click chat.
It is clicked.
It's not on the screen. Are you sharing your entire screen or just your monitor?
What's sharing on your end right now?
Just your streaming screen. I don't have anything besides that.
Let me switch it here. That's probably not what you wanted, is it?
Nope. Taking a peek at the outage map once again. Outages continue to pour in. There you go. Thank you.
Yep.
Looking at Battle Creek has several outages now. Looks like Marshall as well getting on the outages. Athens, Union City, Colon now having outages as this line progresses to the east. I'm going to get the new warning posted here once it comes in.
Ryan, if you want to go through chat B and let me know what your thoughts are on what I just sent in there. Do you want me to take my screen back over?
Yeah, if you would, please. I'm going to
Sure.
wolf some food down real quick.
Sounds good. This is where the downstream warning is going to continue for. The one for Kalamazoo County has expired. This one for Kent County, I would imagine, is going to be expiring maybe early, maybe not, with a potential indication that they will continue that into Ionia County is possible. Be careful out if you're out and about right now. There are power outages everywhere. Yeah, I really don't know how we have power here either. All of like St. Joe County for the most part is without power. Kalamazoo County, Calhoun County, we're starting to see more outages. Nothing so far in Eaton County, thankfully, yet. But I'm sure we will be seeing stuff as the winds continue to move across the state. The biggest area of heavy winds that we're watching for at this time is right in here in this area where the darker blues are. Again, looking at Calhoun County there, Eaton and Berry counties. It's through Berry County now, but the heaviest winds are in this area, continuing to work east, northeast. Ingham and Jackson counties, Ingham County here, Jackson County here, will have a severe thunderstorm warning again. And for those who were asking, in case you didn't hear it before, the reason that they go with a severe thunderstorm warning is because the gusts are over severe threshold, which is 58 miles an hour. If they are over that threshold, they will issue a severe thunderstorm warning. I apologize, I'm responding to someone here. If you have given a super chat today, I apologize. I have not been doing a good job of keeping an eye on the chat. So if you have and I missed it, I apologize. Thank you so much for your support here at Michigan Storm Chasers. It really does mean a lot. Super chats like that help keep the lights on here at the office, and we do really, really appreciate them. So hopefully I can go through and get some of them here at the end. Again, if you're experiencing any tree damage, we do have a few partners who are willing to come and help out if you need it. They do a very, very good job. They work with insurance. They've been vetted. Everything about them checks out. Please, instead of getting hurt, make sure you go with someone that you trust. All of these power outages continue to increase. As Ryan was talking about, it looks like in Cass and St. Joe counties, there's over 60,000 people without power right now. If I go to the entire state of Michigan, let's see how many residents.
Yeah, 55,000, Chandler. No update yet.
55,000 is the last thing that I see on here too. So be safe.
I am back, by the way.
Hello.
You can take me if you need to.
Welcome back.
I'm kind of waiting on this new warning coming in for supposedly Ingham and Jackson. It's been about 6 minutes since we got word they're going to issue one, so we'll see. It's probably coming here soon, but that wind will likely start picking up here shortly in Lansing on the western half of Ingham County. It'll probably start picking up in Jackson in probably about 15 or so minutes. So they got a little bit of time yet. Getting reports of building damage now in Battle Creek.
Interesting. I do have a few damage pictures incoming to our messenger here.
If you want to hop in Messenger, Chandler, go ahead and take my screen. We'll go ahead and lead for a minute or two.
Okay. Your screen.
If you want to go ahead and post those, feel free as well. If you want to start rapid firing stuff. Totally your choice. All right, update here. Let's talk about this. This line of, we're going to call it rain of showers, is not severe. What's behind it is severe. St. John's, DeWitt, Ionia, Lansing up next, Charlotte, Marshall, Coldwater, all behind this rain shower is when you're going to get easterly or southeasterly winds cranking up that could meet severe criteria. We've already had several reports in Kalamazoo County as well as Ottawa County of numerous large trees across roadways.
There's your warning.
There's your new warning coming in. Looks like for Ingham and Jackson. So there that is. They're going to go baseline with that. But Kalamazoo County, we have reports of power lines and or trees down on houses with people trapped inside. Not just one report, but multiple reports. So this wind means business, and a lot of people are being caught off guard today. Even though the communication's been there, we need to take this seriously. And also, if you live on the east side of the state, you may not get warnings because the office in Detroit may not opt to issue those. So just keep that in mind as well. These may turn into high wind warnings or perhaps just stay as statements. But in the meantime, even on the east side, as this line progresses, you will get high winds with it. And also there is a potential secondary surge of those winds coming after midnight tonight, particularly for southeast Michigan. So with that said, we could have several areas and rounds of this wind here across the state. The good news, though, is on the west side, while it's still probably gusty, I think the worst of the winds is going to start letting up here across that West Michigan area from Muskegon to shoreline counties that were first impacted. We're still seeing gusts on the observation map between 30 and 50 miles per hour over in those areas, but we are still seeing the heaviest of those winds occurring just behind those rain showers. While Chandler does the damage reports and survey there for a brief minute.
Not this again, Ryan. Here goes the headphones.
Test 1, 2. Am I coming through? Okay, I'm coming through.
Yeah, I got
Perfect.
you. You're fine. It's my headphones.
Okay. So next up here, Ann Arbor, Dundee, Tecumseh. You guys are about to get rain, if not already getting rain here. As I mentioned before, the start of this is going to be nice and pleasant. Garden variety rain showers. Maybe if you're lucky, a rumble of thunder out there, but I don't see any lightning out there currently. After the rain passes through, the winds ramp up. These severe warnings have expired for Kalamazoo County. They continue for 20 more minutes for Kent County. They continue for another hour for Berry, Eaton, and Calhoun County. And they continue for 1 hour for Jackson as well as Ingham counties. They are issued well in advance because the wind will be prolonged. It's not like a severe storm that the wind comes in a burst and that's all. No, that's not today. Today, that wind comes, it's out of the opposite direction you expect it to be in, and it lasts for 20 plus minutes. I would definitely expect warnings, or at the very least high wind warnings, to be issued for the east side here. These winds continue. They may weaken some as they progress east with this initial line, but additional surge, again, after that midnight time frame is possible on the east side. So we'll have to play it by ear. I'm looking at the observation map here and also the outage map. The good news is I'm not seeing too much in the way of severe reports coming in anymore. I do see a 47 mile per hour gust in Marshall. I see Lansing, highest gust in Charlotte, 39, 35 in the Capital Regional Airport. As far as outages go, I do see one outage up by Potterville and Charlotte areas. Primarily, the highest gusts that I'm seeing are down heading in toward Branch County as well as Jackson County. Plastered paintball outages from Kalamazoo to Battle Creek down toward Three Rivers, that area being hit extremely hard. I think the outage map just broke because I don't have, there it goes, I lost it. The website appears to be down for me at least. So I can't do that anymore. We just got another update. We just jumped 20,000 people, 71,000 customers now out of power in Michigan. Calhoun County is 22% out of power. St. Joseph County, 17% of customers there out of power. Outages are ranging all up and down, even up into the northern part of Michigan, Benzie County, Manistee County, Wexford County, all getting these outages. Mason County, Newaygo, Mecosta, Isabella, Montcalm. This does not discriminate. It's not a South Michigan event either. Even up here in northern lower Michigan, where there's absolutely no precipitation on radar, the winds are still cranking. These are non-thunderstorm winds today. One thing that is going against us right now is we're between radars. We're between Grand Rapids and Detroit, so the winds, we can't really track them on radar. I can tell you, though, on the edge of this precip shield from Coldwater, Girard, up toward Marengo Township, Marshall area, Eaton Rapids, as well as Lansing, all the way up toward DeWitt, St. John's, the back edge of this rain is where the heaviest of winds are going to be. So I'll draw a line here, pop the drawing tool on my screen if I can. There it goes. We're going to see the back edge of this rain and all what's left over here. This is where your winds are. And the winds are out of the east-southeast today. Typical thunderstorms will be out of the west or out of the southwest. Not today. Reverse it. So it's putting pressure on trees that the trees are not used to. So that's why we're seeing probably more outages than usual here. Several gusts across the state between 50 to 65 miles per hour have been reported already. We've had numerous reports of trees on homes, trees blocking roadways, unconfirmed reports of injuries. We're working to confirm that. We've had several areas here that are impacted. It's not just isolated, it's widespread at this point across the west side of Michigan. It's about to be across the central part of Michigan here as well. The good news, though, is what I'm seeing is there's been a very distinct downtrend in the latest outages here on the energy map, but unfortunately the consumer's energy map is now down. I do not have it on my end. My colleagues as well tell me behind the scenes that it's also down for them. So it's not just us here, which is at least reassuring. We still have the statewide map here, but I'm not sure if the statewide map is going to work because consumers reports to that map. And if consumers goes down, I do not know if that will update. So the latest update we have is 71,000 customers in Michigan out of power.
It's a lot of customers, Ryan.
Indeed.
Again, you want to be very careful with these type of wind events because, like Ryan said, trees are putting pressure on, or having pressure being put on them that they may not normally be used to, and some of the bigger limbs can fall and break. And it's just because, again, it stopped raining does not mean you can go outside in the trees. The wind is going to continue, and you want to make sure that you are safe outside.
I have the Albion cam pulled up here. Albion's about to get probably in on the worst of the winds. If it gets intense, I will pull it in here, but this is courtesy of the Calhoun County 911. Right now, looks like the gusts are between 20 to 30 miles per hour, but I think the worst is yet to come here in the next couple of minutes. Not much attention being given to our bottom tier counties very often by us here. There's no warnings in effect, largely because Grand Rapids office decided to use these severe warnings for this. Other offices are blanketing wind advisories and or high wind warnings and or special weather statements. So just because there's no warnings, for example, Branch County or soon to be Hillsdale, or perhaps Ithaca area, St. John's, Clinton, and Gratiot counties here, you guys are still experiencing the winds. As this progresses into this blue zone over here, Detroit NWS has opted to issue statements instead of warnings. The wind is still the same regardless. So take it seriously. Make sure that you are inside and away from windows, and track, if you have a radar, track the back edge of this rain shield, because that is where you are going to see the winds really ramp up here. A new statement coming in looks like for the bottom. They're putting a statement within a statement. Make that make
Classic.
sense.
Classic.
So the blanketed wind or the statement says gust up to 45 possible between 6 and 10 p.m. But the new statement they're issuing for Lenawee, Washtenaw, Livingston, parts of Oakland and what county is that? Am I tripping or is that Grand Rapids?
What? Huh?
Genesee. Sorry, Genesee County. They're going up to Genesee. I was tripping for a second. Genesee, as well as Lenawee, Washtenaw, Livingston, and Oakland counties, all going to be within this new statement here for 50-mile-per-hour winds with this line here.
Again,
Measured 50-mile-per-hour gust in Calhoun County near Marshall.
I was going to say, as the rain continues to stop, as this precipitation continues to move west to east, that's when the wind is going to continue to start and pick up if it hasn't already. A lot of times, once the rain stops, the wind stops, but today is not that day.
Do you have any damage on the page yet, by chance?
I do not. If you want me to take back over for a little bit.
I can. Yeah, go for it.
There hasn't been a ton that's been in the messenger so far. I'll send you one, Ryan, that can go up.
Copy.
Thanks, Don. Yes, I am Chandler. For those who don't know or recognize me, I'm not a frequent flyer on the live streams. Normally I'm out storm chasing, but we're Ryan and I are hanging back today while we have a few of our other chasers and staff doing some recreational storm chasing today. Ryan and I got things handled here. Yeah, we're going to continue to see a significant amount of wind across the state, moving from left to right, from west to east. For those who may not be as good with directions, I'll put my screen back on here. Looks about the same as Ryan's right now. If you see anything on camera, Ryan, let me know and we can take it. But right now, the severe thunderstorm warning for Kent County has another 10 minutes. The one for Berry, Eaton, and Calhoun County ends in 39 minutes. And the one for Jackson and Ingham County, will be expiring in about an hour or so. Outages right now continue to increase. I can still view the... Nope, never mind. There goes the consumers one. Down.
The latest update from the statewide is 73,000, but I'm guessing that they can't pull from consumers. So that number is probably close to 80,000, if not over 80,000 right now. What on earth just got issued?
I didn't hear anything ping.
I got purple boxes on my screen. I've never seen this before. Severe. They just went EDS on this severe warning. Stand by, Chandler.
Okay, so
They just went on an EDS severe on this for
So-
60 mile per. I've never seen this before. So they have tags they can add to severe thunderstorm warnings. This you kind of think about tornado warnings. They have like the PDS, particularly dangerous situation warnings. They have something similar to that for severe. Usually, though, they issue this for destructive severe warnings for the highest end. But they add this extremely dangerous situation tag to a baseline severe warning. I have never seen this before.
yeah, I haven't either.
Is this a glitch, or I'm wondering if this is a software glitch to me,
Well,
because I've never in my life seen this.
you can check with them if you want to. While Ryan tries to find some more information about that, again, when they say an extremely dangerous situation, it says this storm is producing widespread wind damage across Battle Creek. Wind damage with this storm will occur without any rain or lightning. So that's the only thing that I can think of for why they would have issued it, is because, again, there is no ongoing thunderstorm. There is no ongoing, really, besides a rain shower. There's no ongoing precipitation or anything like that. So you might think it's safe to go outside. You might think the winds are going to die down when the rain stops, and that's just not true. But this extremely dangerous situation is something that certainly should not be taken lightly. If you have a place where you can take shelter in the Eaton or Calhoun County areas, and probably Berry County as well, not a bad idea to be headed towards your safety shelter at this point in time. Make sure you get a pillow or something to cover your head in the event that you do need to take shelter. Yeah, we're going to try and find some more information about this, as this is something we have minimal experience with so far.
I have never seen an EDS tag in the state of Michigan, let alone on a baseline severe. Usually you get those when destructive severe is not enough. You typically have EDS warnings on like 90 mile per hour winds, 100 mile per hour winds. So I'm a little confused here on what they issued it for. I'm asking for clarification. We'll see if they answer back here, if we can get some more information on that.
Again, what we are trying to figure out is, that make sure that this is intentional. We don't expect this to be any sort of error. So if you are in one of these purple boxes here in Berry, Eaton, Calhoun counties, taking shelter is not a bad idea. Going outside right now certainly is a bad idea. There are very high winds going through the area, and there is no precipitation. There's no lightning. There is no rain. And that's why we're seeing these severe thunderstorm warnings, because these winds are gusting to 60 miles an hour or more. And again, this came in from trained weather spotters, seeing 60 mile an hour wind gusts from trained weather spotters. Again, they updated this at, I thought it was 5:50, but again, they're asking for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building, or if you don't have a basement or anything like that, move to an interior room or a closet or a bathroom. That is a good alternative. Anywhere outside is a bad alternative. Do not go outside. But yeah, again, just because the weather cleared up, do not go outside. There will be heavy winds in the Eaton and Calhoun, Berry County area. I did see a comment here, so I do want to address this just real quickly here. They said, looking out for this bow segment near Chesaning. This isn't something that we are traditionally concerned about as a bowing segment. Yes, the radar signature does show a bow on it, but this isn't something to where the winds are magically going to be, 70 to 80 miles an hour behind it. There's heavy winds going on everywhere. This bow segment right now does not have our concern any more than anything else does. There is
just a report behind the scenes here. Calhoun County dispatch is backed up. Several calls. Also getting reports to Kalamazoo is the same thing. Dispatches are overloaded with trees down, wires down. Similar calls here across the area.
Yes, that is correct. So again, this purple warning boxes here for Berry, Eaton, and Calhoun County is for an extremely dangerous situation. And the reason for this that we can get right now is the storm is producing widespread wind damage across Battle Creek and Calhoun County. Wind damage with the storm will occur without any rain or lightning. So again, just because it looks clear to go outside, it is not safe to go outside after the rain stops. There is still heavy winds behind it, and if multiple dispatch centers are being overloaded with phone calls and other volumes of calls, please be safe. Do not go outside. Use our common sense thinking caps. If you see down power lines, do not go near them. You have to treat every power line as if it is live. I'm just popping around here in the messenger a minute.
New reports out of the Lansing area, Chandler. Highest gust on the observation map has now exceeded 56 miles per hour.
Okay. You wanna take lead here for a few minutes?
I can.
Just like 2 minutes here.
Yep, I got you.
All right. Your screen.
Yep. So the line of rain is now entering Hillsdale County as well as Jackson County, halfway through Ingham County, all the way up here into the Corunna area, Bennington, New Haven. You guys are on deck here as we move this line of rain further to the east, and behind it is going to be your wind. So Hillsdale about to get it. Calhoun County should be about wrapping up with the heaviest of winds. Jackson County will be on deck with it. Up toward Mason. Lansing, like I just said, gusted to right around 55 or so miles per hour. Looks like Bennington, up toward Chesaning, St. Charles, Wheeler, all the way up toward Mount Pleasant, Harrison, even up here in the northern part of Lower Michigan, getting in on the action of power outages as well as wind. Still have not heard any information about the EDS warnings here in purple. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this. Everything here checks out in the text of the warning. I've just never seen an EDS issued for a baseline severe. So basically, I think what they're communicating here is to try and grab people's attention. It says, hey, this wind is not occurring with storms or with rain. They're occurring outside of them. So a lot of people could be caught off guard by this. And I think the EDS is just trying to grab people's attention that says, hey, this is what's happening today. That's what I'm assuming, at least. Usually EDS warning is issued when the highest level of destructive severe warning is not efficient. Usually destructive warning here in Michigan equates to about 80 mile per hour winds. And EDS warnings, in my experience, issued out west or elsewhere across the US usually cover 90 to 100 plus mile per hour straight line winds. So it's a little confusing to see that issued for a baseline severe warning, but still take it seriously. And as you should, further to the east, across Hillsdale, Jackson, Ingham, and eventually up here into Genesee County, as well as Shiawassee County.
I can take back over, Ryan. I don't know if you want to try and cycle through our cameras, see if you can find anything through there.
I can try. A lot of them are actually offline, so go figure on that. I can cycle through them and try and find something here real quick.
So again, let's talk about what warnings are active. We can see that the Kent County warning just expired. Right now, I'm sorry, if I could just talk, that would be okay. We're going to do our best to just get the words out. Right now, Jackson and Ingham counties are the ones under a regular severe thunderstorm warning right now for 60 mile an hour winds. Again, this is behind the line of rain. And then right now, Berry, Eaton, and Calhoun counties are under the EDS extremely dangerous situation warning. Not something that we've ever seen here at Michigan Storm Chasers before in the state of Michigan. Our best assumption at this time is that The winds behind this are very, very severe and ongoing across a widespread area, and they want people to be taking shelter, as do we, or at least just not going outside. This is heading due east at this time, running the 94 corridor from Hillsdale up into really the 69 corridor coming out of Lansing over towards Flint. It is moving to the east, so on the east side of these, you still will have some higher wind gusts coming through. Ryan, I am still pretty gusty here at HQ, but it does seem within the last 10 minutes or so to have wound down a little bit here.
Yeah, and they're going to continue that wind advisory there for the west side of the state. That wind advisory covers gusts up to, I believe, 50 miles per hour through 8 o'clock tonight. So that is still valid. And even behind the rain, even counties behind it, you're still going to get gusts between 30 to as much as 50 miles per hour with this. So it's a prolonged event here. Highest gusts right now should be in eastern Ingham County, as well as entering Jackson and halfway through Hillsdale County. That is where the worst of the winds currently should be.
I have seen some speculation going on in our chat now about a potential fatality in Kent County, and we're not going to comment on that at this time. We do not have confirmed sources, and we would appreciate, out of respect for everyone else watching and potentially this person's family and friends, that we refrain from talking about unconfirmed fatalities in our chats. Please and thank you. Again, this is going to continue moving to the east. Right now, out in front of it is just the special weather statements. That's the big one. For Shiawassee, Livingston, Lenawee, Genesee, Oakland, and Washtenaw counties. This is moving to the east at 45 miles an hour. They're expecting winds behind this, again, where you can see where these brighter colors are here. Ooh, mine's in red. I don't know if I want to do red. Do white. This area here is where the heaviest of the winds are showing up on radar. But again, all back in here, there is still the high winds going on. So the purple boxes, if you're just tuning in, oh boy, now I gotta figure out how to get it out of here. Oh goodness.
Weatherwise is an amazing tool until you have no idea what you're doing with it, Chandler.
I feel like I'm doing okay so far. These purple boxes, again, if you are just tuning in, is a extremely dangerous situation is what they call it. And the reason they chose this wording is because there are 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts that have been confirmed that are with, essentially no precipitation or lightning in the sky. So just because it looks like it's done storming is actually when the most significant winds are going to pick up. So be safe. Do not go outside yet. It is not safe to go outside. The areas that are going to be coming up next, the Mason area here, Tompkins, Leslie, Dansville, Jackson, Spring Arbor, Vandercook Lake, Somerset, Jonesville, and Hillsdale. You guys are going to start to see these winds picking up here within the next 15 minutes.
I have several damage pictures I'm working on, Chandler. If you want to continue leading, I'm going to work on these.
It's fine. Another special weather statement downstream. For Livingston, Oakland, Washtenaw, Wayne, Lenawee, Monroe counties. So that is the downstream one. So they have upped their wording to this, Ryan. It's the same area as before, but it's wind gusts of 50 to 55 miles an hour now. So just under the severe threshold is what they're expecting. Again, severe threshold here is 58 miles an hour. So if it gets over that, it is considered a severe thunderstorm. So far, that has not been put into effect by the National Weather Service out of Detroit. But again, the high winds continue in Barry, Eaton, Calhoun counties. You're starting to see them a little bit more widespread now in Ingham and Jackson counties. Just downstream of that, Livingston, Oakland, Washtenaw, Lenawee counties will be up next. You probably will be seeing some heavier winds up north in the Shiawassee, Genesee, Saginaw counties as well, maybe even Bay, Gratiot, Clinton counties as well. I see if consumers is still down. Yes. There are not a lot of power outages coming from Ionia County, Clinton County. Let's refresh this just to see if that's saved. So this was updated 10 minutes ago, but still within the last 10 minutes or so, there's not a lot from Saginaw County, Genesee County, Clinton County, Gratiot County, Ionia County, Eaton County, less than 1,000 in all of those counties there. So that's good. That means on the northern side of this, the winds aren't quite as significant. So for the time being, then, we're going to continue to focus here on the southern end of this where we're seeing these purple boxes. Again, if you're just tuning in, these purple boxes are for a what's called extremely dangerous situation, as noted here by the extremely dangerous situation tag. And what that is for is the storms producing widespread wind damage across Battle Creek. Wind damage with this storm will occur. And again, these are the important words here, without any rain or lightning. Do not wait for the sound of thunder to be taking cover. Seek shelter immediately in a sturdy structure and stay away from the windows. Now, if you don't have a basement, that's okay. You can take shelter in a bathroom, in a closet, in the most interior room in the house, either one. Whatever you have safety to take. Taking a look at these here, we can see all of these blue boxes here. So all of these blue boxes up here is a special weather statement. I'm not going to read all these counties and cities off, but these are for wind gusts of 30 to 35 miles an hour. This special weather statement here, this is the one I wanted to click on.
Hey, Chandler.
Hey, Ryan.
Basically all you gotta do for those southeast counties is basically just communicate that wind gust up to 50 to 55.
Right.
They blanketed so many statements in front of statements. It's kind of confusing, but I think the wording should be very similar across the east side of Michigan. That's gust up to 55, maybe higher are likely tonight. Also, just a quick point of reference, we have over 100 weather cameras in the state of Michigan. There is currently 13 that are offline due to power issues, which is the highest I have seen in our network of outages so far.
The heaviest winds that we are expecting right now are within the Jackson and Ingham County areas. The heaviest winds, so we can see the lighter blues over here. We'll get my draw tool out so I can screw around with it again here. This area here is what shows on radar as the heaviest winds, but there are still heavy winds back in this area too. So again, just because the rain has subsided for your location, if you're in the Calhoun, Jackson, or Ingham County area, the wind is just going to start running up to those higher levels. So you need to be safe. Again, please don't go outside right now. This is not a safe time to be out and about.
Chandler, I do have the consumers map back just for reference.
Beautiful. I just checked the larger nationwide one. Up to 83,000 people without power now. Calhoun County has almost 30% out.
Also want to mention Jackson on the west side. Several looks like trees down across western Jackson County, and then also western Hillsdale County getting on the action with power outages starting to move toward those areas as well. So Hillsdale and Jackson County now getting in on the power outage party.
I'm gonna try and get somebody in here just real quick, Ryan.
If you need me to do it for you, let me know.
We're going to see if I can do it on my own. We're going to see.
While Chandler does that, we're going to watch this line. On the back end of this line here, we have several cameras out ahead of this in Howell, Ann Arbor, Chelsea, Adrian, Hudson, Tecumseh, Dundee, Britain, Riverview. We have a lot of cameras out ahead of this line here to kind of watch and track this as it moves through southeast Michigan. Again, we are moving into the Weather Service in Detroit, Pontiac, their warning area or their county coverage area, so to speak, call them CWAs. They're not going to issue severe warnings. They've stated they're going to opt for statements or high wind warnings instead. So even though we're not going to get any severe warnings coming in on the east side tonight, the wind should still be taken seriously. It's just a different office's preference on what product to issue. The latest power outage map from consumers now has several outages now in the western side of Jackson. That's creeping closer to town. So if you live in Jackson, don't be shocked if you happen to lose power here in the next couple of minutes. Looks like that is going to be moving into downtown here shortly. Also getting several notes behind the scenes from our colleagues that Jackson County in general is receiving an influx of emergency calls for power lines and trees down there. So that is not a surprise by any means. A new updated warning here. They canceled Berry County and they continue Calhoun and Eaton County for 17 more minutes to be exact. So once again, they're going to cancel Berry and continue for Calhoun and Eaton County. Observed 60-mile-per-hour winds continue. That's going to be in effect till 6:30.
All right, I couldn't figure it out, Ryan. If you want to do it, you can. I didn't see anything on their cameras that made me ready to pull them in yet anyway, but
We're about to find out if I can do this while you're live.
we're going to find out. Screen 2.
Oh, goodness.
Screen 2.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't show up like that for me.
You want me to get
Can
you
I
there?
do this? If you can, yeah, that'd be great. I can't see anything. It's so tiny.
Yeah, quit moving.
Yeah, I can't even read. I can't read that, man. It's too small.
I ain't gonna worry about it then. It'll be okay.
New software for Chandler. This is one of his first times actually leading the stream. So bear with him. Bear with us. In the meantime, though, we'll leave that. I'll monitor behind the scenes, Chandler, on my end, and just kind of watch their feeds.
Sounds good. So we're continuing to, okay, they have ended the extremely dangerous situation, at least according to WeatherWise here. So as of right now, Berry County has dropped off of the severe thunderstorm warning. The 4 counties that we have a severe thunderstorm warning for right now are Jackson, Calhoun, Eaton, and Ingham counties. The winds are going to continue to be pretty gusty on the backside of these. You can see the lighter colors in blue here for Jackson, Stockbridge, Dansville, Spring Arbor. You're going to continue to see those winds pick up after these, or after the rain showers move out again. There's no lightning. There's barely any precipitation with these. Just make sure that you're not going outside yet. There is, let's see here. The Michigan power outage map is updating about every 10 minutes. We still are at about 83,000 people without power. Ryan said we did have the consumer's energy map back. I do not have it, so if you do, congratulations, but I most certainly do not.
I do, and I'm continuing to watch outages roll into Jackson proper.
Again, we are looking at two different maps here. This one on the left side is for general precipitation. What I'll do here is, I don't know if it's gonna switch. It was supposed to, but so this is our precipitation. So where we have the blues and greens, that's pretty light rain. You know, a little bit of some heavier rain here down near the Tecumseh area. But on this other side here, I'm gonna try switching to DTX and see if we can see the significant. I just can't see it very much over there yet, which is okay. This is your velocity radar over here, so we can see our winds and our wind speeds there.
Chandler, just want to mention as well off the terminal Doppler radar down in Van Buren Township, Sumter Township area. The winds moving through Ingham County into Livingston County now are upwards of 60 plus miles per hour, about 800 feet off the ground.
Wow. It's windy
Sorry,
out
just
there,
over
folks.
1,000. Sorry, just over 1,000.
It is windy out there. The severe thunderstorm warning for both Calhoun and Eaton County will be ending at 11 minutes. For Jackson and Ingham County, it will be ending in 40 minutes. And then downstream of that, there is a special weather statement for 50 to 55 mile an hour winds. And we expect that to continue to move off to the east tonight. I would imagine Jackson area, Liberty, Somerset, you're going to be seeing these winds starting here pretty soon if you haven't already. And the winds will pick up and be relatively gusty. Ryan, it is pretty calm here at HQ, maybe 15 to 25 miles an hour gusts, but as of right now, everything is really starting to, at least here at HQ, really dwindle down a little bit. So. We continue to get pictures of some tree damage into our messenger here. If you have pictures you need to send, you can send them to our Facebook page.
Looks like Clayton has some damage. Looks like on stream, at least very least some cones set up. Looks like either a power line down or perhaps a tree down. I can't tell.
All right, I'll try it. Let me see if I can do it.
Let me walk you through it verbally.
I've got it selected over here. We're in S mode.
Now go ahead and go up to scenes. Click
there.
on MSC right. No, very top.
Right. That's
very
right.
top.
That's right.
There you go. MSC right. Yep, click on that. Highlight Clayton. Turn off Evan. There you go. And then go back into studio mode. Click out of it. And then pull it up on your keyer in the top right if you want to. If you want to bring him full screen on your scenes on your left tab, you just go down and find Clayton's tab on the very bottom.
I wanted us to be able to see what we were doing first before I pulled them full screen.
Yep.
We can take them full screen in a minute though. So this is what we're looking at from Clayton right now. Looks like
Click on under sources, the arrow pointing at Clayton.
mhm.
Yeah, click on that right there. Yep. Click on it. And then highlight his chase cam. Should be already highlighted. Click on that. And then click refresh above your audio. Above your audio mixer, there's a refresh button. Right there, click that. There you go. Try and get a little bit clearer.
So we're gonna wait to see if this comes in. You might be in a poor service location. Well, while we wait for that, we'll go back on my screen here for right now.
Might have been a dead feed too.
It could have been, but he did have some tree damage there in a neighborhood. We're going to confirm a location for him right now. I do not have one in any of our group chats. Unfortunately, radio is dead. So this is Chandler in
I got you.
training. Everybody be nice. Chandler in training. Everybody be nice. Or roast me. I don't really care. I can take it. I can handle the heat. Again, we are looking.
Clayton, what is your location precisely?
We are looking here at the 4 active warnings that we have in the state of Michigan right now. They are Calhoun County, Eaton County, Ingham County, and Jackson County. The warnings will be ending here for Calhoun and Eaton here within the next 10 minutes or so. We will see if anything continues downstream.
He's going to be in Holt on Holt Road for
Okay,
reference.
so his location was correct then. I just wanted to make sure. I also apologize if my audio has been a little light today, you guys. We seem to be having a few issues with that on this end. I'll make sure to have a different microphone next time. So
it's Chandler's first time streaming, so give him a break. We'll figure it out.
First time streaming, take it easy. First time running everything behind the scenes. Yeah, okay.
Getting him trained up here. I do want to take over just for a second, Chandler. If you want to go on your radar to the airport Doppler radar, if you have it turned on, I want you to take a look at the velocity coming into Fowlerville, Howell, Stockbridge, as well as Linden areas. At roughly 1 to 1,500 feet, winds are exceeding 60 to 70 miles per hour. This is likely some pretty intense winds coming into the area. If you want to take my radar, you can.
Yeah, so I was going to say,
but this is, yep, there you go. So the terminal Doppler radar down here, basically Monroe County, Washtenaw, and Wayne County line. This is where it's coming out of. Very close and very shallow radar beam. It gives us a look at the low levels of the atmosphere. But we're still at its range here in the Dansville, Williamston area. But even at its range, we're getting these winds between 65 and 72-ish miles per hour. So if you live in Fowlerville, or if you live down here in Stockbridge, even in Howell, Linden, Fenton, Tyrone Township, Heartland, Brighton, Hamburg, and Pinckney areas, you guys should be alert. These are likely at very least 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, but the possibility is definitely there that these could be close to, if not over, severe criteria. The warning for Calhoun as well as Eaton and Calhoun counties. Eaton and Calhoun will expire in 4 minutes. So that will just leave us with Ingham County as well as Jackson County. And then if Detroit does decide to issue any warnings, those will be issued at some point if they do. But right now, the plan, according to what they said to their partners, is they will be issuing statements instead.
Ryan, if you want to explain again why the winds are coming out of the east direction today, you know, I've seen a few comments now why people are thinking that there's some buffoonery going on, and there's not. There's a really good explanation for it if you want to explain that to everybody.
So it's actually fairly simple. So a wake low is basically a localized area of low pressure, which a low pressure spins behind this rain or sometimes a dying complex of storms. That low pressure localized in nature is what turns those winds on the surface out on the opposite direction. So you're getting a wake low, spinning those winds opposite of what you usually do with a typical, typical storm that moves from west to east or, southwest to northeast. So it's all because of that positioning and the overall low pressure being present behind this complex.
Thank you for the exceptional explanation, Ryan. You want me to take my radar back over?
Yeah, if you'd like, I am working on a few things here.
Okay. It looks like Clayton's feed still is not active at this time. So what we'll do is we'll jump back into my radar here. Within a couple minutes here, the severe thunderstorm warnings for Calhoun and Eaton counties will be subsiding, and that only leaves Ingham and Jackson counties. There are special weather statements for the entirety of the east side of the state, basically from the 127 corridor and the areas off to the east there. And you could see winds from 45 to 55 miles per hour. Some locally higher gusts are not impossible to rule out, but that's what everything's warned for. Looking up further north in Michigan, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn our split view off. I think for now we are probably good to turn that off. Up in this area again, we're looking at some special weather statements for higher winds, 45 to 55 miles an hour. They do expect these to be done by 8 o'clock tonight. And that is kind of the thinking here at Michigan Storm Chasers as well. On the southeast portion of the state and the furthest east portion of the state, we could see these winds, go a little closer till 9 to 10 o'clock tonight. But for the majority of the state, to the west of the 69 corridor and 127 corridors, these winds should be subsiding before 8 p.m.
Also want to mention too, Chandler, the latest guidance continues. Localized pockets of wind up to 50 to 60 miles per hour may occur closer to midnight across areas like Hillsdale, Adrian, Monroe, up through Ann Arbor, perhaps reaching as far north as perhaps Pontiac region. So that's a secondary little surge that models continue to key in on a little bit later on this evening. So don't let your guard down even later past, we'll say 10, 11 o'clock. It could go a little bit later than that.
It's a good thing to keep in mind. It's never a great time to go outside on days like this. If you can be inside, that is probably the best thing for you.
I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Again, these are the only warnings that we have in the entire state right now for severe weather. These ones should be expiring here within another minute or two. I imagine by 6:31, it's currently 6:29, that these two will fall off, and then we'll only have the severe thunderstorm warnings for Ingham and Jackson counties. If we play the radar over the last hour or so, you can see that this precipitation is really starting to die off. It's really starting to kind of rain itself out, which is good. You can ignore the purple boxes. Those are no longer necessary. And bringing it up to current radar, here we are again. These two have fallen off. So just the two active warnings now in the state, Jackson County as well as Ingham County, for wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Everything out in front of that is warned for 50 to 55 miles per hour. As we can see, your wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Again, being outside definitely is not the best option. And you probably won't see very much rain with this, and certainly not any lightning or thunder, or very minimal lightning and thunder. But really off to the west here, everything's kind of looking okay. I will pull up some latest model guidance here, just so I feel good about what I'm talking about. I have not looked at very many weather models today. My focus was on the severe weather threat now. It is going to be a breezy night and overnight into tomorrow. We still are planning on seeing some wind gusts in that 25 to 35, maybe even more range, but widespread severe weather is not expected at this time. So once we get through this next little hour and a half to 2 hours or so, the highest of the winds we expect to kind of be taken care of, and it will be breezy tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a breezy day. More special weather statements. Perfect. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a breezy day, and the good news is, as we get into Wednesday, we don't expect it to be very breezy at all. So it'll be a little bit more seasonal coming up. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news for temperatures, but it's not going to be as warm as it was for a while. So if you guys haven't already liked the stream, subscribed on YouTube, we would certainly appreciate that. We'll give a big thank you to all of our moderators out there who are helping out. We certainly couldn't do it without them. And if you want to give them a really big thank you for having to deal with Ryan and Joel and I all the time, they deserve it more than anybody else. We certainly want to thank all of you tuning in tonight and everyone who's tuned in before. We certainly appreciate the continued support here at Michigan Storm Chasers, and we will always do our best to bring you live severe weather as it happens. I would like to check Clayton's stream again just to see if he was able to get that back up. He wasn't. That's okay. We'll pull my screen back on here. $2 super chat from Yoder. Thank you. We do appreciate that. But yeah, outside of what we can see here, there's not a whole lot going on in the state. There's still a little bit of rain down here in Monroe County, but rain is starting to really taper off, and these severe thunderstorm warnings only have 26 minutes left on them for the large amounts of severe weather, or for the large amounts of severe gusts. We can pop back in to our velocity scan here. It is still going to be gusty with these showers, and especially behind them, but we are not expecting any more widespread severe weather or gusts at this time. If we look at an update for the power outage, it's up to 87,000. Calhoun County is the most with 19,300, which is affecting 30% of the population, and St. Joe County with 18% and 5,000 outages at this time. We can take a look here and see if any of our other chasers are out bouncing around. A few of our chasers are in Illinois today, chasing some severe weather out there. Doesn't look like anybody's doing anything wild or crazy right now. I'll throw this scene up on here real quick. So what we're looking at from Evan's camera, actually, you know, we can take him full. Why not? From Evan's camera, this is for those who, oh, he turned back. He said no. He said he didn't want us to see it. Alrighty then. What he's looking at here is the Dominator. For those of you who are not familiar, that is Reed Timmer's tornado intercept vehicle. He can hop into tornadoes of different size and strength and gather scientific data from that. They appear to be in the same area, waiting for the severe weather to come into Illinois later. There will be no threat overnight for Michigan. So again, this is just a live look at the Illinois area. But coming back into Michigan here now, Again, you can see the velocity signatures here. We are looking at some gustier winds out on the east side of the state. 1,000 feet off the ground, getting close to that severe, slightly over that severe threshold of 60 miles an hour. This one, you guys might be able to see here, it says 114. That's a glitch in the radar. That's not actually happening. But some low 60 mile an hour winds, 1,000 feet off the ground there. It will continue to be breezy on the backside of this, but we are not looking for any more widespread severe weather at this time for the state of Michigan. We do believe after these warnings taper off that is going to be the majority of what we are looking at. We will continue to monitor everything behind the scenes to see if we do need to continue our coverage later in the evening. But as of this time, we are not expecting widespread severe weather. Again, thanks to everyone who tuned in today. We do appreciate the support. And a large thank you to our moderators as well. These are really the only two areas that I would be interested in focusing on right now. We're seeing some 62 mile an hour wind gusts, a little over 1,000 feet off the ground. I can't imagine a lot of that's making it down to the surface, but there might be some in the Grand Blanc area as well. Could be some borderline severe weather gusts that are making it towards the ground as well. We will be live until the warnings expire and perhaps even slightly after, just to make sure that nothing else decides to be goofy and go severe after that. Now the rain itself is not going to be very heavy. If we switch back to our reflectivity here, you can see a lot of blue here. All of this blue that you see is the special weather statements. If we look down here, oh, all right, woohoo. All right, they have canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County as well as Ingham County. So right now we only have the special weather statements in effect for 55 mile per hour winds as they continue across the region of Washtenaw, Livingston, Oakland counties. So really, if you're anywhere kind of back in here where there's no blue box, it could still be gusty as the night goes on. It'll be gusty overnight and gusty during the day tomorrow, but we don't expect much more severe weather for tonight. There's a $5 super chat from Fun Times. Thank you so much for that. We do appreciate it. It means a lot. If we go back to our velocity here, I'll draw on the thing on the radar image here. So we expect the winds to kind of be running, back in this area right now. If you're back in here, you should be experiencing the winds. If you're on this side, no winds. Oh, I don't even have to click and hold. I can just move the mouse around. That's kind of fun. All right, cool. The more you know. Again, the special weather statements are the only alerts that are in effect for the state of Michigan right now. Personally, I have my eye on what's going on up here in the Flint area, headed to Grand Blanc. The Genesee County area is really the only place that has my attention for the strongest of wind gusts. Looks like we are seeing a little bit here in Monroe County as well. Those are within the severe threshold and underneath it of high 40s, and that stuff isn't making it to the ground. I don't think that the stuff in Genesee County is going to be making it to the ground either, but you never know. So we'll continue to monitor it here for right now, especially with this trend of really increased winds here. I'm going to play this through just real quick. If we notice, it goes fast. Sorry that it goes fast, you guys. If we take a look at this area here, I don't know if it's going to let me draw while it's playing. Find out. So if we look in this area, we can see more gusts popping up on radar. And again, I don't want to say that it concerns. I don't want to say that it concerns me or anything like that. But it wouldn't surprise me if some of this starts to. Oops, get out of here. Some of that starts to make it to the ground again. We are seeing reports of radar indicated of 65 miles an hour, 66 miles an hour, 1,200 feet off the ground. So it could mix all the way down to the surface. I wouldn't expect it to, but just in case DTX Detroit does decide to pull a warning on that, we are going to stay live for right now. The winds should start to increase here in the Flint and surrounding Genesee County areas here soon. Sorry, I'm screwing with my camera. I'm going to stand up here for just a couple minutes. Yeah, this area has my attention. I just want to see if they're going to do anything with that before we pop off here for the night. It is going to continue to be breezy on the east side of the state. It'll be a little breezy overnight, but if you're on the west side of the 127 corridor, we are clear over there. Really, this area in here, it still might be breezy throughout the night, but we are all clear for the severe weather to the west of the 127 corridor. We're going to continue to watch the pocket of heavier winds near the Grand Blanc area. The special weather statements are still in effect for surface wind gusts of 55 miles per hour. See what the next update brings. Again, if we pop in the reflectivity here, which is what we use to see how intense the rain is, you can see it barely shows up on radar. I bet you if I switch this around, yeah, you can barely even see anything there on radar. So there's very little precipitation with this, if any, but again, there could be some gustier winds that are going to mix in through there. Again, if you're on the west side of the state, it will continue to be gusty overnight, but really anywhere on the west side should be good for the night. I'm willing to give the all clear for the west side of the state. Again, could be gusty overnight, but severe weather is not going to be expected. Again, from this line here over to Lake Michigan, like that. We'll give the smiley face here. We'll give the smiley face here. All clear in the smiley faces for severe weather for the rest of the night. Again, the only thing that really has my attention is this pocket of winds headed into the Grand Blanc area. I don't know that it's mixing down through the surface, but in case that it does, I just want to stay live for a little bit longer because it's no fun to pop off the live and then something else goes severe. Tornado threat with this is 0, but the winds are potentially going to be in the 50s and 60s. Thank you to Julie for becoming an EF2 member. There's another one who's a member earlier. I didn't catch it, so I apologize, but thank you for being a member. Let's see if we have any other reports coming in from over there.
For reference, Chandler, I'm looking behind the scenes at our weather cams in that Flint, Grand Blanc, Daviston region where you're looking at those winds. So far, it looks pretty subpar, 30 to 40 mile per hour winds.
Yeah, like you said, I'm not really all too concerned about it, but just the fact that they're only 1,200 feet off the ground, all it takes is a little bit of mixing to get them to come down. And that's that. So where we see these brighter brown beige color here, this is the portion where my focus is on right now, because if we take a look at our inspection tool here, there is some 66, 67, just 1,000 feet off the ground. So again, it is going to continue to be gusty for everywhere. If you live in a blue box here, anywhere in the state of Michigan, if you live in a blue box, it is going to be breezy overnight. But it is not severe at this time. Again, this is just a gusty wind event. The winds will be coming out of the east, and it will persist throughout the rest of the evening until about probably 9 o'clock or so. But we certainly don't expect widespread severe weather really anywhere else.
I would be okay if you want to start wrapping things up here. I don't really see much catches my eye here. Nothing really on the report map either coming in. That suggests that we're still getting severe level gusts anywhere in the state. So
yeah,
it
I'm gonna
appears
give
to
it
have
about
weakened
10
for now.
minutes just to be safe, and then I'll probably peel it off if that works.
Yep, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some firsthand pictures and video coming in from the Grand Blanc area showing the winds, and I want to see those before I pop that off. The special weather. All right, it looks like I'm back, so that's good. Whew.
Oh, apparently we lost it apparently.
It should be back. It's still running on my end, so.
I think it restarted on my end. Yeah, it restarted on socials.
Everyone's saying it's back, so. Well, it looks like we're back, so that's good. We're going to give it just a couple more minutes here, and as we get closer to 7 o'clock, I am probably going to get this ended here. While we have just a minute, in case y'all have not had a chance to check it out yet, we have our spring merchandise on the website. We have a couple designs here that you can check out. Pick a size. If we go medium, you can see all of the different designs here. These are available in both t-shirts and hoodies. Compliments of our merch provider, JAMA Design Company. If you don't follow her on Facebook, make sure you do so. Again, that's JAMA, J-A-M-M-A Design Company. She does a very good job. But we also have our Color Rush collection out as well. So if we pick another size here, you can see all of the different designs that we have. Get them while they're hot. They're not going to be around all year, but they are on the website now, ready to be ordered, made per order, by the order, by a Michigan small business. So if you want to support another small Michigan business who supports Michigan Storm Chasers, check out the merchandise that is on our website and available. We'll do one last look at the radar here. If they're not pulling the trigger on it now, I would imagine that they're not going to pull a trigger on a warning. So I'll probably be ready to end things up here. Again, it's going to be gusty overnight for pretty much everybody in the state of Michigan. Really starting to wind down between midnight and 2 a.m. But besides that, no other severe weather is expected at this time. However, if anything does go live, we most certainly, or does go severe, we most certainly will go live. So I think with that being said, what I'll do is I'll run through our sponsors here and partners. I've never done this before, so we're going to see how this goes. All right, hang on.
No, nope. Go back to your main scene. I got you, Chandler. I got you. Go back to your main scene. Over in the, yeah, over there. You're going to find the other way. Yeah, that way. Click that. Nope. You need to go to, there you go. Starting with add one.
Just
Right
roll
there,
through every single one of them individually.
Basically, yep.
Okay, cool. Again, thank our partners who help support Michigan Storm Chasers. A-Class Construction Restoration for the Northwestern Lower Peninsula residents. Contact them for your construction roofing needs. Do an exceptional job up there. Southwest Michigan. American Arbor is your go-to tree provider. They can help you with getting trees off your home, getting storm cleanup done, knowledge, pruning, you name it. They can help you out there. Congratulations to all of those who are getting memberships right now. Thank you to whoever did that. Apex Restoration, a restoration company based out of the Flint area. They do an exceptional job for mitigation of water, mold, and fire damage, emergencies as well. Battle Creek IT keeps Michigan Storm Chasers network powered. They provide us with all of our technical care, and they do an exceptional job. Stay ahead of cyber threats with Battle Creek IT as your trusted technology partner. Crystal Flash for all of your fuel and propane delivery needs across the state. Contact Crystal Flash. Ink Media, who handmade our beautiful new website. They're a full-service digital agency of 10 years that helps businesses make their mark online through savvy website designs with proven growth-focused digital marketing strategies. Cat's Roofing, and Siding, a longtime partner of Michigan Storm Chasers. Call Katz Roofing and Siding today for all roofing and siding projects in the Lansing and Potterville areas. Kuiper Tree Care is your tree care provider for the West Michigan area, whether it's storm damage, cleanup, pruning. They are happy to come out and help you in the West Michigan area. They are growing their team to be able to serve more individuals who need them. McKay Tree Specialists is based out of Southeast Michigan. They specialize in storm cleanup as well as all tree-related services. Give them a call or a shout if you need them today. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding for St. Clair and Sanilac counties for all roofing, siding needs, whether storm related or if you're thinking about just getting a new roof, they can help you out. On Top Roofing, Livingston County and other Southeast Michigan partner, and a special thank you to them for being our Patreon partner and sponsor. They're here for all of your roofing needs, storm damage, or retail as well. Rainbow Restoration, based out of the West Michigan area as well, Kent County and surrounding areas. They are here to help out with your storm cleanup needs, fire, water, other damages that may be needed. Ronald McDonald House Charities, especially and most importantly, the one in Detroit, partner with us, help them find the families, donate to them the comfort they deserve in times of a difficult time. Nobody ever wants to go through what those people experience every day, but they do an exceptional job to make you comfortable. ServPro, from fire and water damage to mold remediation and storm cleanup, ServPro is ready to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Make sure to check out the Michigan Storm Chasers website to find which ServPro branch is nearest to you. StormGuard of Metro Detroit North, serving Oakland, Macomb, and Washtenaw County residents. Call StormGuard of Metro Detroit North today for all your exterior home construction needs. Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, based out of the Grand Rapids area. They are your trusted source for roofing, siding, gutters, and windows across West Michigan. Top Notch Tree Care, helping the people of Mid-Michigan since 2013. Call Top Notch Tree Care today for all of your tree care needs along the US 127 corridor from Lansing to Jackson. And Victor's Home Solutions, providing gutters, roofing, attic insulation services to protect your home and family for years to come across the Tri-Cities area. Give them a call for any needs that you have there. With that, it is 7 o'clock. We are going to call things here at the Michigan Storm Chasers HQ. Thank you so much to tuning in. We really appreciate your coverage. At this time, it's going to be a final statement from me here. Again, for those who might not know me, never thought I'd have to say that. I'm not on stream often, but when I am on stream, I'm always happy to see all the support. So it is going to be gusty across the state of Michigan tonight. But at this time, I'm going to give the all clear for severe weather. Again, we could still see gusty winds overnight, but widespread severe weather is not expected at this time. Huge thank you to all of our partners. A huge thank you to all of our mods, and a big thank you to everyone tuning in from wherever you are. We appreciate the coverage, we appreciate the support, and we will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care. Everybody have a safe night. Thanks for tuning in.